throw this over to Collete. What is Glass Hammer Racing?
Well, Glass Hammer Racing is an organization that introduces young girls into the fantastic world of motorsports.
You know, it seems easier to get started in racing when you're a little guy, to be honest with you. You know, Dad will forget you watching the races on TV at home, and it's so cool. But sometimes when you're a girl, you don't feel like you've really got the same places to go. So Glass Hammer Racing is, you know, as Collete said, we're trying to help get more young girls involved in racing. And the hashtag, sorry about this voice, is beat by a girl. So these two young ladies here are two of the drivers that Glass Hammer Racing is helping sponsor. We've got Collete Davis, who's been running in the US Formula 4 2000 national class, and we've got Jessica Bean, who is running a midget. So we've got both types of open wheel racing going on here. So Collete, tell me a little bit about your season so far and what you want to do.
Well, I started my debut on the Mazda Road to Indy in Sebring, and then went to the street race in IndyCar in St. Pete, and, you know, obviously goal is IndyCar. That's where I want to be, that's where I see myself, and going up the Mazda Road to Indy, continue it from here.
Jessica?
I got my start in Ford Midgets, and right now I am racing in Penny Midget and a Ford Focus Midget. Thanks, Pippa. Oh, this one a little louder? There we go.
I've got the loud voice, so I can have the quiet mic.
Yes, I'm a little quiet, sorry. But anyways, I got my start at Quarter Midgets. I saw there was actually a Quarter Midget over there for all you young kids that are interested. Go bring mom and dad over there. Now I'm racing a Ford Focus and a Kenyan Midget. I actually am racing at the Speedrome, where so if you know Shannon McIntosh, she got her start over there with Glass Hammer. So that's what I'm doing now. And moving up the ranks, trying to get over to IndyCar.
So, we've talked a little bit about where you've come and what your long-term goals are. What happens now, next, immediately? What are you doing right next? Where's your next races? What are you guys doing with Glass Hammer? And what else do you do as part of Glass Hammer Racing? Is it just about you two? Or are there other young kids who can get involved in this?
Well, like Glass Hammer Racing, like we mentioned, a big goal of ours is to get younger girls interested in motorsports. And, you know, it's great because we're sharing our passion for motorsports with other young girls that otherwise might not come in contact with it. And I'm a driver and instructor for Glass Hammer Racing, and we have the Glass Hammer Racing experience that we host here at Fast Times in Indy for younger girls. It started in karting, 9 through 16, and, you know, I'm an instructor for that. And driving immediate future with Glass Hammer Racing, hopefully aiming for the Mid-Ohio IndyCar race, racing in USF 2000 National Championship Series. Well, like Collete said, we do have the GHR experience for the young drivers, and for all you young girls out there that are interested, you can go to viewbygirl.org to get more information. As far as my immediate future, I'm racing at the Speedrome, like I said, right now, every Friday.
Stop. You want to tell everybody where you finished when you ran at the Speedrome yesterday?
I finished second.
Okay. You young driver here, we've got to get her to blow her own trumpet a bit harder. Second place finisher in her last race out, Jessica B. Now you can carry on.
Thanks, Pippa. Yes, I did finish second on Friday night at the Speedrome, and I'm racing the Speedrome every Friday night till August 3rd, I think. So come on out. It's on Kitley Avenue here in Indy. My immediate future, Glass Hammer is actually helping me transition into road racing. So I'm going to be looking into Skip Barber and getting into karting, so I can move into IndyCar.
So, somebody whose career path you're trying to follow, who most of you might know, Sarah Fisher, I guess. She started out in midget, started racing here locally, and then transitioned to road racing. That's what you're trying to do?
Yes, ma'am. I'm trying to make my way up through, and going to do it the, untraditional route like Sarah did.
And, well, it's traditional for Americans, I guess. And Colette's trying to go the European route, despite being an American driver, of trying to come all the way up through the single-seater ranks. We don't have here on stage, Glass Hammer Racing also has a third driver in their program who's currently racing in sports cars, called Savannah, and her goal is to Rolex 24. So these guys are helping girls at all levels of grassroots racing, and then these girls are helping the kids down in karting. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to do a little giveaway, but it's specific to the women who have raced here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We have two special t-shirts that are for, if anybody's got young daughters or nieces, we have two special t-shirts, and I'm looking in particular at a young lady in front of me who I think might want one of our t-shirts. And we also have some of these t-shirts to give away. But you're going to have to work for them, okay? And we're going to do a Q&A, and it's going to get harder as we go along. We're going to get people down here to the front of the stage. So we need 9 people to start off with. Okay then, I'm going to start with the youngest driver first. Hi. Can you name for me one lady driver who has started the Indianapolis 500? Can you think of anybody? Danica Patrick, that works. Okay, so Danica Patrick is one of the 9 women who have started the Indy 500. We've got 8 names left to go. 8 left. Can you name a woman who started the Indy 500? No? Sarah Fisher. We have an answer for Sarah Fisher. We have another Beat by a Girl t-shirt. Okay, now we're moving on to the bigger t-shirts. We need another name. We've done Danica, we've done Sarah. Janet Guthrie. 3 down. Lynn St. James. 4 down. We've got 5 names to go. I'm going to come down this way a little bit. Hey, this guy gets a t-shirt. This guy remembered my name. Okay. I'm going to come back to you because I'm going to do the youngest first, and I'm going to come back to you as well, but keep thinking about female drivers. It's going to get harder. Simona Di Silvestro, one of the starters for this year's race. Anna Beatrice, another starter for this year's race. No, you're all out? We've already had, so we've had Danica, we've had Sarah, we've had Lynn St. James, we've had Janet Guthrie, we've had Anna Beatrice, we've had Simona Di Silvestro. There are 2 ladies left. 2 ladies left who have started Indianapolis. Do you know who they are?
Pippa Mann.
Milker is one of them. And yes, we already had me. Okay, who knows the last female racing driver who we've missed? She's going to start the race today. There's a clue. Catherine Leck, there we go. Now, in a few years' time, we're going to be hoping we're going to be adding the names of Collete Davis and Jessica Bean to the starting names for the Indy 500. So remember these names. If you want to find out more about the organization and these girls, please go to www.beatbyagirl.org. It's a pretty good name to remember. On Twitter, the hashtag is beatbyagirl, and you can find them at Glasshammer Racing. Okay, been a suggestion, we've still got some time. We're going to do questions from the audience. So, who in the audience has a question for these 2 lovely ladies up on stage? Oh, Trevor's testing another mic. What's the best way to get someone into karting? Can either of you ladies answer that?
To get someone interested into it? Okay, well that's great. Well, obviously our organization at beatbygirl.org, we can definitely help her out in the next years to come, but go to a track. I would start off with, and they have rental carts at most places, and just let her get the bug from that. You know, that's how it started for me. First started in go-kart and was hooked.
And for me as well. I grew up a race fan watching races with my dad, but I never ever thought about driving one. And then one day there was a birthday party and I got to jump in an indoor rental car. And I'm like, this is cool. And that's how I got my start, and that's what Glasshammer Racing and the GHR experience is trying to do. And these guys are trying to provide an environment where young girls can feel safe to come and play in the kart. They have a female instructor to look up to. And so it feels like a safer environment than just throwing them in the deep end of competition.
Also another option, instead of partying's great. I started in quarter midgets. So that's also another option. I just started here in Indy, down at the fairgrounds actually, they have a track. I saw they have a quarter midget over there, so you can go over there and find out more information on that too.
Anybody else got some questions down here in the audience for the girls up on stage? Trevor is roaming around out there with the microphone right now. He's the guy standing here with his hands up. Yes, you have a question? No? Okay.
Questions?
Everybody's shy today.
Okay, we've got a question over here.
I want to know what
Sorry. I want to know what Jessica and Collete do when they're not racing. Do they go to school, have jobs, what?
I actually just graduated from Trine University with a degree in math and business, and I am now working, yes, part-time until I can find a full-time job or get my racing career on the move. I'm actually a junior in mechanical engineering at Embry-Riddle in Daytona Beach, so between doing that and trying to pursue a racing career, Mazda Road to Indy.
You see, that's one of the other things this organization is promoting with these young girls is, you can stay in college and have a career in racing. And we're trying to promote girls getting more interested in science, technology, engineering, math. I mean, that's one of the things I missed out on, the route I went. I did the traditional racing thing of leaving school quite young and going karting. And while that was great for me personally, I did miss out on a better education because of that. And to see these girls still getting their education and doing what they're doing is inspirational. A question I had from the crowd is, how old were you both when you started racing?
I started racing competitively a lot later than most drivers at 15 and started my feet wet in go-karts around 14. I started when I was 12 years old. That's when I got my start in quarter midgets, and I moved up to midgets when I was about 18.
I slot right into the middle of these two. I started when I was about 13 years old, so we're all kind of late bloomers in racing terms. A lot of kids start out at about sort of 6, 7, 8 years old, but we're living proof that, you don't have to start that young. You can still get in a kart or a quarter midget when you're 12, 13 years old, and you can still go places.
We had a question,
You can even get in a go-kart when you're 23. I can't guarantee that you will be on the IndyCar starting grid in a couple of years' time, but you can have a heck of a whale of fun doing it. That's what it's meant to be about, fun.
I also believe there's somebody in their 40s or 50s that's in USF 2000 right now.
I think so, and I'm harking back to the female thing here, because we do have 3 girls up on stage. Janet Guthrie started her first Indianapolis 500, I think she was 42. So that's a pretty cool statistic. You don't have to be some 19-year-old wet behind the ears kid to go out and do this. If you're determined and you're good and you're going to make it work, go for it.
The way I see it, if the lady wants to race, let her race.
There we go.
Do we have any more questions out here for the girls?
Oh, that's I get the mic.
Okay, we know that Jessica started doing quarter midgets here in Indianapolis. The young gentleman wants to know, what races did you really start running first of all? So we know you started in quarter midgets. Was that just here in town?
I was racing in Indianapolis and in Kokomo.
Indianapolis and Kokomo and quarter midgets. Where did you start with your karting?
My karting career was in Colorado, so around the local tracks in Colorado is where most of the karting started and my first experience in a Formula car.
And as you may have heard, I have a slightly different accent to these other 2 girls. I grew up in this little tiny island surrounded by water called England. And so that's where I started my racing career, is all the race kart tracks near me. Wherever you live, wherever anybody lives, there's normally a kart track within an hour or a couple of hours. And you can drag your parents up there. Come on, let's go, let's go. You do? What's your number? When's your next race? Everybody, not a female driver, but we're going to make an exception. We're going to be cheering for the number 48 go-kart next weekend. Thank you for coming out to the stage.
This gentleman had a quick question.
Is it okay if I get some pictures? Your autograph?
Sure, absolutely. We'll be hanging around for pictures and autographs when we're done. We know a lot of you want to get over to your race seats for the race, and so do we, but we'll hang around, we'll sign some stuff. If you've got Sharpies, we'll happily stop the pictures. And then when you guys all disperse, we're going to go find our seats too.
Cool. Anybody? Any final questions? Any final questions? All right, do you guys want to go under Firestone?
Okay, we'll be under the Firestone awning over there, we've just been told. We don't have cards, so you're going to need to bring us something to sign, and you got Sharpies, Trevor? Trevor's got Sharpies, so we will have Sharpies. So just bring something for us to sign. We'll be sitting in the shade under there for about the next 10 minutes or so. And yeah, come over and see us.
Come on, crowd, give it up one more time for Pippa Mann, Collete Davis. Me.